Hey, good morning, folks. Coming to you from Studio A. Now, it's a little dark. Didn't have time to work on some lighting issues, so we hope everything's coming through okay. Emily, you keep an eye on that. Listen for me. Make sure everything sounds good. There are all the ways. You're watching BKP Politics Monday morning. I got to get my glasses, but that's not a big deal. We'll work on that after the break. I'm not used to being in Studio A. All right. Information overload. What a weekend. All right. You have not given up. You still believe that President Donald J. Trump will be president 8 weeks from now. I guess that's January 20th. Is that 8 weeks or we're getting close to it? Anyhow, you still believe that after the Electoral College meets and after everything happens in the Supreme Court and all of the election fraud lawsuits and things that are taking place across this country, you believe that Joe Biden will be looking for a home, and it won't be the White House. So you haven't given up out there. Let's just go with that. We'll get started. A lot going on. There are all the ways to follow us, BKP Politics, on social media. A lot happening today. You have sent me information that I'm trying to cross-check. So those out there, you are the research department. I appreciate you so much. You sent me some information last night. Others have sent me information. And when I say I'm trying to cross-check, it's just we want to be cautious here and make sure we're things are moving fast, rapidly. But I maybe 1 million people now. You know, if you've been on the show, watched our show before. My brother Jerry, that's been on the show, he went down to D.C. yesterday. He's calling me, don't let the media lie to you. I'm telling you, there was 1 million people in D.C. yesterday, so you're not ready to accept, all right? You're not ready to accept the media's projected results, period, all right? So we'll get right into that. They have moved on. Let me just show you really quick. Number one, these are some of the shots. These are some of the shots. Thank you, Emily. I know you're working used to being in Studio B, and now we're in Studio A. Just a handful of shots yesterday in Washington, D.C. The president's motorcade drove through the crowd and waved. And we may get into it in the second hour. We know Biden, as the media likes to call you, President-elect Joe Biden, that's the media's term for you, not ours. But have you called for peace and unity for Black Lives Matter, Antifa? Yesterday, when the peaceful Trump supporters are not going to accept the corruption anymore in this country, supporters, we're not going to put up with it anymore. The last time, let me just tell you this. I'm going to try to stay focused today. The last time, number two, give me number two. And there's a difference, all right? There's a difference here, big difference. But the last time we saw a crowd assembled like this in D.C. of patriots, great patriots, it was the Tea Party. The Tea Party. Remember, this was the beginning of the Tea Party. The last time we saw pictures like this in Washington, D.C. Go ahead and give me number 3. That's what happened, the Tea Party. Now, there's a couple things I want to change here from, or draw the distinction between the Tea Party movement, because I was there when 1 million of us, remember Obama and Nancy Pelosi, they were giving us Obamacare. We said, hell with this. I was there. Okay, I went to Washington, D.C. We made the signs. Okay, we made the signs. The handmade signs, everything. We had the flags in the crowd. Don't tread on me. But, if you look at that, that's a sea of what? Trump flags. Stay with me for a minute. Because there's differences here. And I want to draw that we will get into the Dominion. We will get into the corruption of the Dominion software. We will get into how the disarray of the Republican brass at the top in Georgia, it is leaving Democrats all across this country thinking they may be able to swoop into Georgia and take 2 Senate seats. And I'm going to tell you, when it comes to the top brass, when it comes to the elite Republicans at the top, when it comes to Governor Brian Kemp, Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, it's in disarray. We will get to that, I promise. Okay, we have great stuff we want to touch on. But I want to tell you the difference here, okay? Trump flags, a sea of Trump flags, unlike what we saw, was it 2010? Think about 10 years ago, right? Nothing like this when we went in 2009. I think 2010 is when Republicans landslide won more seats in the House and won one election than history. I don't know, 76 or something off the top of my head. But Trump flags. Well, if you tell us Trump flags were there one more time, we may understand what you're trying to say. There's a difference. The last time you and I, because I was there, you and I thought that we had done it. The Tea Party, we're tired. We're not going to take it anymore. Taxed enough already. We're going to rip this government a new one. We're going to get the corruption out. We're going to drain the swamp. We are going to send Tea Party-like candidates. And I'll throw one out there in Georgia like Tom Graves. Keep this in mind. Stay with me. Stay with me. We were going to send Tea Party-like candidates. Tom Graves. Let's see. Marco Rubio. Yes. Because they swooped into our local Republican parties and they gave us a bill of goods and they were Tea Party all the way, and they came to our Tea Party meetings and they knew it was time to get rid of the swamp and stop the corruption and stop Obama, right? What did we end up with? There's a difference here. Stay with me. What did we end up with? John Boehner? Paul Ryan? How'd that work out for us? Right? You got behind in 2010 a massive movement, the Tea Party in this country. And remember the beginning of the Tea Party, what was great, okay? I'll never forget. And I want to stay focused on this for a minute. I'll never forget, I'm riding the train into Washington, D.C., and we are shoulder to shoulder. And the government is bailing out auto manufacturers, right? Remember, we're bailing people out. Chrysler and General Motors going bankrupt. We're bailing these people out. Our country is collapsing, the financial debt. Obama's going to give us Obamacare. And I'm standing next to this man from Michigan, and he was retired from General Motors. And he looked at me and he said, I worked for General Motors 32 years or whatever, and they never gave me a car. I'm just using that, right? You see, when we were on that train, I'm getting ready to tell you something very, I think, about this crowd this week and where we are at in America today. When we were on the train and we were going into D.C. back in 2010, we weren't getting personal. We weren't arguing over, I'm pro-life, you're not pro-life. I get it, okay? We were united in our personal liberty. Corruption had to stop. And we checked the egos at the door. We were down there to stop this corrupt government. There were Democrats, independents, they were from all over the country. That's exactly what that coalition was Saturday. And I want to move from this. I just wanted to open with saying, don't take this for granted, because the last time something like this happened, the Tea Party exploded. The last time something like this happened, okay, massive sweep of Republicans into the House of Representatives, control of the House, control of the Senate. Last time something like this happened. But here's the difference. This time, this group has a leader. I know you don't like that. Sorry about that. You see, there was no defined leader of this group. Okay, a lot of people emerged in the Tea Party and wanted to be the leader. A lot of people wanted to have the voice to say, we're going to stop corruption. We have had it. But there wasn't that individual that emerged out of the Tea Party as the leader. It wasn't there. But the unity was enough to sweep Republicans in. The bad problem there was we ended up with Paul Ryan and John Boehner. And we have people like Tom Graves today that sold us a bill of goods. All right? We have people like Tom Graves today that sold us a bill of goods and is now a lobbyist making big money. Tom Graves is making big money. He was supposed to be a Tea Party darling when he went in. Marco Rubio, Tea Party darling. This time, this group has a voice at the very top that won't let them down. Let me show you something right here. And I'll get off this because I want to get on to a lot of other things. Give me number. You see, the last time this group assembled, and there's so many new members in this group, I'm going to say this. Last time something like this happened in D.C., we didn't have the strong voice out in front of us saying, hey, we're going to call it out this time. Give me number 55. The consent decree signed by Georgia Secretary of State and approved by Governor Brian Kemp. You see, last time when that group got together, we didn't have Donald J. Trump that didn't care what he had to say. America first. Make America great again. He didn't care. He doesn't care if you have to call out Republicans. Last week I said something here. And you always go back on the tape and look at it, all right? But I said something here last week we have to chew gum, be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. We've got to get 2 senators elected in Georgia and keep the Senate, all right? Trump doesn't care if he's calling out Republicans. He doesn't care if he's calling out Democrats. Doesn't care. Georgia, the consent decree signed by Georgia Secretary of State with the approval of Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia at the urging of Stacey Abrams makes it impossible to check and match signatures on ballots and envelopes, etc. They knew they were going to cheat. Must expose real signatures. Just telling you. So I just want to say a shout out to each and every one. Give me number 2 again. There's a big difference this time. We're not ready to bring back Paul Ryan. We're not ready to bring back Tom Graves. These people right here, they have somebody, a leader, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, 45th President of the United States. And no, Joe Biden is not President of the United States. He's not. He's only president-elect because the election's been called by the media, not here. I'm going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to start digging into Dominion. I want you to hear what Sidney Powell says. I mean, look, we're all together on this, all right? This audience, you guys are great. You're the research team. I've been reading so much stuff you guys are sending, okay? But Sidney Powell, as you know, is a hero of mine. She just is. I think she's amazing. All right? Look at her entire career. We're going to listen to some video. Sidney Powell feels very strongly that this week here, there'll be some things revealed that's going to blow things out of the water, and you're no longer going to be saying Joe Biden, president-elect, possibly. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And you're watching BKP Politics. BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. Now, let me put this out there immediately because it's the number one thing. My email is blown up about, well, for me, it's about 6, okay? I'm reading through this, all right? I want to stick to what I know this morning, all right? And don't take that wrong, because I'm going to look in the camera. Hey, listen, get some extra tinfoil for Christmas, because I don't care what they call us. We can all make our tinfoil hats. Research, read, keep looking things up, cross-reference things. Now, when it comes to the internet, I like to find things 2 or 3 times from what I consider reputable sources. I like to start cross-referencing some things when some accusations are made out there. I like to cross-reference. But that being said, never let this government in any way whatsoever, never let this media discourage you. Never get a feeling being put like you feel like, it's crazy that you investigate things. Let me tell you what this is. Peaceful transfer of power, okay? There's a couple things the media sets up every single day, all right? Every single day there's a couple things the media sets up. Is how to manipulate you and I to accept their reality. That's simple. Their goal daily is to sell us their narrative and how to get you and I to accept what they call reality. It's the media that said, President-elect Joe Biden. That's who called him President-elect. Not the Electoral College, okay? It's the media that wants you to believe that it's a disaster and it's a matter of national security that Trump hasn't unlocked the funds for this corrupt administration or possible future administration to get the funds for transition and the green light to go into, all right, national security offices at different organizations or bureaucracies in the government and start looking at things that we know. There's some things maybe we're not ready for them to see, sadly enough, in this country. But what I want to say is, it's the media that is telling you now that Donald Trump is an embarrassment to the world and that you and I are not accepting a peaceful transfer of power. And I got to thinking about this. My first memory of inauguration, if so, is Nixon. All right, but I always remember inauguration as they talk about on the world stage how many countries that there are military coups or there's battles and there's not a peaceful transfer of power. So every 4 years, when we hand the key to the White House over to someone else, we have the media stay focused. It's these people that go on TV and talk about it's the greatest, it's our democracy, is the peaceful transfer of power. This is such a picture perfect moment of how the founding fathers intended for there not to be a king or queen or we're to transfer the power and they always convince us that's the greatest thing in the world is the peaceful transfer of power in this country. And there was a time when that said peaceful transfer of power was just that. And it's been amazing through our history. But now what peaceful transfer of power means, and the lack of that they claim Trump, okay? Trump is not participating in a peaceful transfer of power. I don't see it that way at all. We haven't confirmed that Biden is president of the United States. So at no time has Trump denied a peaceful transfer to the Biden administration if they become the next administration. But they want you to believe Trump is in the way of a peaceful transfer of power. They want you to believe Biden is, they want you to believe that Biden is the next duly elected president. So if and when the courts, and there's an overturn of this election, if and when there's an overturn of this election, then it will be Trump stealing it back from Biden. If they've had days telling you, see, if you watch the media, and I don't want to get stuck on this, but if you watch the media, they've moved on. I mean, they're looking at Biden's possible, cabinet. They're looking at, Biden's transition team. They're talking about COVID-19. That's all you hear is the dark winter. They're moving on, and anything Trump says is conspiracy theory, and Joe won, and it's done and over with. Peaceful transfer of power means to them that you and I will accept the continuance of corruption, a corrupt government. That's what we're supposed to do, is stand down. And those pictures Saturday didn't say that. You see, those pictures Saturday did not say that at all. That they're ready to stand down, America is, and accept their peaceful transfer of power back into a corrupt form of government. That's all that means. Now, you're sending me this, and I will get to this immediately. Brian, what do you know about this order and the national emergency that was declared? So do you know about the recent raid in Europe of the servers, and that our election results that we're going through the server? Several of you have sent me this. I'm still, I guess, digesting it, reading through it, and trying to research it. But I know many of you have sent this to me, all right? I will tell you the Associated Press has jumped. Louis Gohmert in Texas supposedly said this, but the Associated Press, I just sent you a picture over there, just so you know. Number 58, do you have that? False report claims election servers were seized in Germany. So the Associated Press knows that you are out there reading and looking everything up. The claim, I can't pronounce the name, okay. The claim is the U.S. Army raided Frankfurt office of a Spanish election software company, SCYTL, to seize servers that had evidence of voting irregularities in the November 3rd U.S. election. That's the claim. This is the Associated Press. This is not me. I'm just telling you what they're doing this morning. Associated Press assessment. This is their assessment. False. Both the Army and SCYTL told the Associated Press the claim is not true. Furthermore, the company does not have offices or servers in Frankfurt, Germany. The facts. This is Associated Press. This is the story. The facts. Social media users Saturday were sharing reports published by conservative websites claiming servers that would reveal wrongdoing in U.S. election had been confiscated by U.S. military forces in Germany. Most posts said the servers belonged to the software company, again SCYTL, which is based in Barcelona, and some suggested the servers housed information from Dominion Voting Systems. The false claims, this is Associated Press, the false claims followed a Zoom call this week that featured Republican Representative Louis Gohmert of Texas, suggesting that U.S. Army forces had seized a server from Frankfurt office of the software company. In his remarks, which were widely shared on social media, Gohmert acknowledged that the information about the alleged raid only came from a German tweet in German. He said, "I don't know the truth." The Associated Press reached out to Gohmert's spokesperson but did not hear back. Now, let me just say this, okay? I don't know here, and I know a lot of you are looking at the Dominion software and the voting machines. So here's all I'm going to tell you right now. I am going to stay focused on what I know. I'm continuing to read everything. You are the research department. You send me everything, please, please. But as you're researching, cross-reference. I'm not telling you that the Associated Press is the end-all in this story. But I'm just telling you that I'm going to stay right now with what I feel I know. And I want to go to, there's a couple videos, and you know how much I respect. Now there is Marie Bartiromo, her interview yesterday, but I want to go on these two Twitter videos. You know the ones that I have say Sidney Powell 1 and 2? All right, there's a video that says Sidney 1 of 2. If you could play that one, please. You got to start it over? Okay. As soon as you can get that in there, we're going to play Sidney Powell 1 of 2. There's two videos. We're going to play them back to back. Eric Bolling. It's an interview with Eric Bolling, and like I said, we're going to stick with, whenever you get that ready, let's just go with it. We're going to stick with what I feel I could trust right now, and it's Sidney Powell this week. Is whenever you get that.
So there were these Dominion machines that were voting machines, and as you point out, they're in multiple counties across the country that may have changed. How do you know this? Where's the? Do you have? Listen, I'm not pushing back on you because I know everyone's going crazy right now. But is there proof of that?
Yes. Well, the Dominion machines are in 30 states. We're identifying the companies that created the software. They have done this in other countries around the world. It's incredibly disturbing, and we will hopefully have evidence of it before the end of the week that we can produce publicly. And the Justice Department and the FBI and the intelligence agencies, I think, have known about this before. So why nothing's been done about it yet is beyond my comprehension, but it's fixing to go public because I'm not going to stand by and watch the American public be defrauded of their chosen leader in a free country that's supposed to be free, not run by Venezuela or China.
Sidney, very important information news you're breaking here. Is it a software glitch or something more nefarious?
It's a feature of the system that was designed with a back door so that people could watch in real time and calculate with an algorithm how many votes they needed to change to make the result they wanted to create.
How did you find out about this?
People have come to me with information. I think when people realize there's somebody they can trust that will actually do something about it, they speak up. We have a lot of patriots in this country. They are absolutely fed up to the gills with corruption at every level of government. They have no trust in our public institutions now, and we will not let this election be stolen or any cheating to survive.
All right, so let's go to, I like fed up to the gills, right? Didn't you like that? We're fed up to the gills. There's a lot of patriots out there. Now, Sidney Powell says she's not going to stand by All right, let's go to 2 of 2. Let me go to the next one myself here, make sure I'm good. Let's go ahead and play the second one in here, and then we'll talk about it, all right?
It's a real important point here. Dominion voting machines were in numerous states, numerous counties. There's some sort of software backdoor, not unlike most phones will have a backdoor, but this will actually calculate and tell the person accessing the backdoor what type of voting percentages and what type of numbers are needed to change the win for a certain party, for a certain candidate.
Exactly. They can watch the voting real time. They run a computer algorithm on it as needed to either flip votes, take votes out, or alter the votes to make a candidate win.
So that's different. Now this is even different. I just really want to be very, very careful here and be very meticulous about this. It's one thing to be able to watch it and decide how much more input you need to change the number, but now you're saying there's an actual way to change the total, the vote tallies within the system?
That's exactly right.
That's a very, very big claim there. I mean, that would be voter fraud defined right there. What's the next step?
It's massive criminal voter fraud writ large across at least 29 states. It could have been happening. Anytime a voting machine was connected to the internet, and we have evidence that many were, it was obviously happening. It's obvious from the algorithm and the statistics that our experts are tracking out for batches of votes and when the curves changed. And it's going to blow the mind of everyone in this country when we get it all together and can explain it with the affidavits and the experts that have come forward.
All right.
All right, so it's going to blow the mind of everyone in this country. Now, the only thing I am saying, I do have the executive order on imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in the United States election. I do have that executive order. I want to thank each and every one of you for everything you're sending. But let's stay focused right now. Well, not telling you not to pay attention to that by no means. But what I want to focus on is, and I'm going to ask you, if you are still out there and you're believing there's a pathway for President Trump here. The pathway is not recounts. That's not it. I for one thought it was, when I say exciting, I thought it was great that we were going to do a hand audit recount in Georgia, but the pathway for Trump is not a recount. So if you're out there today and you feel there's a pathway for the president, nothing against Rudy Giuliani or anyone else, Sidney Powell, right? I have the highest respect. Dominion hardware or software around the world, features of the system. Now, I want to zero in on that also, is Sidney Powell, and let me put up a tweet, because if you're hanging on out there, my friend, my fine feathered friends, if you're hanging on, this is who you hang on with. And I have it here somewhere. I have to, I know I have it. I know I cropped a tweet this morning. I thought I did, to put up here. Stay with me just a second. I won the election, blah, 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 clinging to power. Maybe I did not put it up, but let me find one that I'm looking for here that may actually go. Stay with me just a second, folks. Don't get worked up. There it is, 14. Give me number 14. So this is Sidney Powell. This is This is a tweet, says 19 hours ago, okay? To be clear, we the people elected real Donald Trump in a landslide. We decide that he stays in office. He's conceded nothing. We know there was massive election fraud, massive. Not only has President of the United States ordered to release is it the Kraken? I don't know. What is that? I'll have to check that out. We the people demand it. We are fed up, Rudy Giuliani. Anyhow, what? It's not a glitch. The Dominion software, you just heard how it is written. I have heard it reported a computer glitch. No. It's not a glitch. It is a feature of the software in real time. All right? They can calculate in real time. You heard in the last week, 2 weeks, about the algorithm. Now, remember this. As you're researching and you're listening to people like Sidney Powell and what she says she's going to bring out this week with the Dominion software. All right? There's two sides of the Dominion software that may be, we've only got 8 weeks here to January 20th. And we've only got a couple weeks. Is it December 12th? I don't know. I'm just throwing dates out to where the Electoral College meets. And they've got to vote, okay? And they send that Electoral College vote to the House for confirmation or, to be voted on to accept it or whatever. But let's say this, time is running out because not only with the Dominion software, is the other side of the corruption that will not exclude Republicans. Maybe in Georgia. Of how many stakes these lobbyists bought them while making a decision to go with Dominion software. Because what most people overlook, when I say most people, I try to say this where it's not disrespectful. Your elected officials know jack squat about social media, technology. So many of them know nothing about technology and how any of it works. So many of these elected officials. You think Dianne Feinstein's 90 years old, Chuck Grassley, that, they really understand how Twitter and how software works, how it's written and loaded, and then how somebody can take over a computer. Or actually, I have a little program. To where I can dial in the main computer at FYN, and I can run the software of a computer if I want. That's pretty simple and common that companies use all the time. Exactly, folks. So. It's not a glitch. No. You got to keep in mind, you get the logic of this. That night when Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Arizona and all the way down through there where they stopped counting, the accusation, an algorithm. You see, which was simple, once all the in-person voting was uploaded, you remember Trump leading 57, 55, big, enormous leads across the nation in just, for the most part, the battleground states. And then we started seeing things that, you can't refute, the media won't report, how Biden did much better in areas where Hillary Clinton did not do in these states in 2016. And we don't see the problems in New York, and we don't see the problems in Massachusetts, and we don't see the problems in Delaware and Oregon and in Washington State and California. We don't see the problems. Nevada, we don't see the problems in the real blue states that were obvious. But Sidney Powell talks about algorithms. She talks about the algorithm, and this is built in. They can look and see. So all the uploaded in-person voting is done. They shut everything down, shut Republicans out, no poll watching, and immediately the system can start switching votes. Not a glitch. The algorithm says Joe Biden, you could go in there. Okay, Biden needs 300, just like that. Biden needs 329,000 votes to win. Okay, boom, we know that. Okay, 329. Fed up to the gills, all right? Calculated, and they watch it in real time. Fed up to the gills. What did I tell you earlier? The difference. You see, Sidney Powell, what does she have on this tweet? A picture of the People Saturday. These patriots are saying no. They're not going to move along. No. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about Georgia. Lynn Wood, the attorney, he's filed a lawsuit against Brad Raffensperger. Donald Trump is calling out Georgia top Republicans. This will be a week to watch. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
The Chevy inventory is rolling in again, and Days Chevrolet in Jasper is discounting them deep. North Georgia's #1 truck, the Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, discounted up to $8,000 off. Plus, get huge savings with 0% financing for 84 months on every Equinox and Trax. Everyone's been waiting for these Chevys, and we've got them for less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, 1 nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host. You're watching BKP Politics. I'm your host, BKP, Monday morning. I wanted to break down this morning. There's so much going on out there with the Dominion software, and I am not calling him Joe Biden president-elect. I'm not doing it, okay? Not ready to say Joe Biden president-elect. I have not given up. I will not give up. The President of the United States hasn't given up. Somebody called me and said, do you think there's a pathway? And I pause, and I know what happens. I pause, and 1 second I say no, and the next minute I say yes, because I just think Sidney Powell is the real deal, and so on. But let me say this, okay? Why most of us are pausing is a couple reasons. We've had all the evidence, all right? And I would say the majority of this audience question every day, why with all the evidence has nobody gone to jail in the last 4 years? Okay. So many in this audience, we have enough evidence on Peter Strzok, McCabe, Comey. We have enough evidence on Bruce Nellie Orr. We had enough evidence with BleachBit and the servers. We learned in the last several years of Scott. What was his name? Fusion GPS. Okay. So much happened over the last 4 years. When we heard John Durham was appointed to look at the genesis of the Russian delusion and spying on the President of the United States. They talk about a peaceful transfer of power. We need to understand that this is a coup attempt, the great coup attempt against a duly elected president. You hear every day, I get tired of this SHI asterisk every day of Joe Biden and Donald Trump won't go gracefully, and he could be a statesman, and this is his opportunity to just step up and be the leader of the Republican Party, and he could run again if he wants, all right, it's like when you friggin' lose, and they always say, well, there's next season. What the hell? What do you mean there's next season, okay? If the Astros cheat, they cheated now. What I think is interesting, and let me not get off the rails here, but, you ask for a defined answer. You want clarification. You want instant replay. You do not want, if he went out of bounds, you want 9 officials to look to see if the damn guy went out of bounds. I mean, if there's a play at the plate or whatever, you want 9 umpires to come over and go under the hood and make the call. You want a photo finish in racing. You demand investigations in the results of almost every other damn thing in your life. But the media said it. I mean, you know what? Let me tell you what the hell this is like. Damn it, I knew this was going to happen. Before they put instant replay in, we had to listen to that jackass Chris Collinsworth, about 3 of them, okay? Well, I don't know. Let's look at this angle. Let's look at that angle. I think there's nothing here that can be overturned. The media that's exactly who they're like, okay? They're all making the damn call. But let us look at the instant damn replay and all hell breaks loose, right? America, don't accept these results. Don't accept this corruption. I don't know what the hell I was saying. But I said Saturday, the difference. What's the difference? Donald Trump, you could have left gracefully. You could have just walked away. You can live to fight another day, run in another 4 years. I mean, the media wants us to believe Joe Biden is president. If the president doesn't accept it, I don't accept it. And I'm not just saying that following him blindly. Let's go on to I want you to go into logic and thinking. I got all the stuff you're sending me, right? Even the mythical creature, right, with the tentacles. I got it. Thank you. I'll explain later. Had to bring glasses into play. When I'm in Studio A, I have to have the glasses to see across the room. When I'm in Studio B, I have the other computer that's right there. Long story short. So, Linwood, I'm telling you, man, let's go to Georgia. It's 9:05, Georgia. Georgia on your mind. Well, let me show you a little bit what's happening with this Georgia peach. The upper echelon, the power structure, Serenity Now in Georgia. They don't want somebody like me coming out and, bad-mouthing the party. Let's sing Kumbaya. Right now, let's just sing Kumbaya, okay? Because we got to get David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler elected, right? Give me number 4. So, here's their problem down in Atlanta. Yeah, the problem is Atlanta. Here's their problem. Local county, small county, if you're out there anywhere and you're listening to Georgia. Oh, by the way, let me clear. I'm calling bullshit on this segment. Got it? There's a lot of it, and I'm going to clear it up. You're watching me, sorry for the language, but you're watching these media accounts. In the state of Georgia, if you did not vote in the general election, you can vote, you could register to vote in this one. So let me clear something up that's false. The other day I'm listening to something on one of the conservative, now don't take this wrong, one of the conservative talk shows of driving up the road, flip on the radio, and they were talking about moving to Georgia to vote, right? Moving to Georgia to vote. And the host said, well, that's not true because if you didn't vote in this election, you can't vote in the upcoming runoff. Not true at all. Democrats, let me be clear, Democrats right now in Georgia, so you know, this is clear information, they are working as hard as they can. Pull up John Ossoff, his interview yesterday on ABC, and Reverend Warnock, the Reverend, okay, Raphael Warnock, they are registering. Now, let me scare the hell out of you because we'll go back to this lawsuit. Number 56, I mean, 56. Is that 56? Look at that, folks. If that ain't enough to scare your ass this morning, I mean, they should be using that in every Scared Straight video out there. Vote. Let me tell you, sister right there, just telling you. Stacey Abrams. Yep. She makes Brad Raffensperger and Brian Kemp whimper. I mean, they whimper. They get in the corner and start shaking. All right. It's just like, you had that car accident. I don't know where you're at, but in Georgia. And supposedly the insurance company is just nervous that you hired, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. And, because they're shivering over there that you're about to really come out. That is Stacey Abrams to Brian Kemp and Brad Raffensperger in Georgia, the governor and the secretary of state. So if you're out there and anybody's telling you across the country that if you didn't vote November 3rd, you can't vote in the upcoming election in Georgia, bull. That's right. They are working now, okay? The lovely Stacey Abrams is working now as hard as she can. Democrats, they have young people pouring in. I don't even like to report this, but you got to know out there, they have young people pouring in. You know those white kids? Yes, those damn white kids get on my nerves, man. They're wearing rainbow sweatshirts, unity, save our democracy, you know, and they got a clipboard, and they're going to make a difference. I know some people get upset because not all white kids are like this, but those white kids that want to make a difference, okay? So they're all pouring in all over the United States to register harvest ballots, register to vote. What the hell got a problem? Because you can't check signatures. I'm telling you, man, it's a damn mess. And Republicans gave it to us. In Pennsylvania, Republicans gave us that mess. In Georgia, Republicans gave us the damn mess. I think there needs to be a full investigation of how many steak dinners that lobbyist or those lobbyists, okay, bought for the upper echelon there that made the decision in purchasing and funding the Dominion voting machines. But a clarification and a little scare here. They're pouring in, as what does Obama say? We got 53 states. I forget how many states Obama said we had. But they're pouring in from each and every state, these kids, to get out the vote, register voters. So there you go. We cleared that up. Yes, these kids, they're on the ground. They got the boots on the ground. And let me tell you what's happening. All right, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. While she is amasking, you know, she don't go to California and Washington, D.C. She doesn't travel everywhere for nothing. They're coming in. This lady, if she turns, don't yell through the camera at me, if this lady turns 2 Senate seats blue and puts Georgia in the blue column for president, puts 2 Senate seats in the blue, whoo, this is a power figure. And boy, does she have a figure. I just had to use that one. I've been wanting to use her figure against her for a while. I get it. Okay, I'm a little overweight myself. Not saying anything ugly about Stacey. Yes, they're coming in from all over the United States, pouring in. But guess what's happening with let's go to the Republicans. Republican upper echelon, the Brian Kemps of the world, they're begging you to not see anything. Don't see, don't say, right? So instead of the Republicans being able to unify, they're telling you they're trying to unify. Go to number 4 back there in Georgia. You need to know what's happening, baby. Right here in Georgia. You got Attorney Lin Wood, right? Who's he suing? United States District Court, Northern District, Georgia, Atlanta Division. Lin Wood. Brad Raffensperger in his official capacity of Secretary of State. Because let me tell you, the Republican Party down in Atlanta, Brian Kemp, Jeff Duncan, Brad Raffensperger, just to name a few, they're in deep trouble. I gotta get a haircut. They're in deep trouble. Oh yeah. Because guess what? The rural counties in Georgia, they haven't accepted that Donald Trump has lost. They're not calling him Joe Biden president-elect. No, you're Republican. There's 159 counties. So you get out of those 6 or 7 counties down there, and Republican Party county members are pretty upset with the top echelon. It's not uncommon to go to a Republican Party meeting in Georgia, have a couple representatives show up, they're trying to get the party to sing Kumbaya, but then after it breaks up, everybody gets in these little circles and they're saying, Brian Kemp's got to go. He's a one-term governor. Now, I'm not bashing the party here. I'm just telling you what's happening around the league. I should be doing an around the league update. This is our around the league, because this is, let me tell you what else. Let's go to the next one, okay? Number 5. Here's Lin Wood again. The lawsuit was filed by me, and it's not about me. It is about you, the people. Light must shine on deals made in dark rooms. Deals intended to subvert the will of the people. We will not go quietly into the night. So Lin Wood probably has decided, this attorney, not to stop until he finds out how many darkroom deals. Who got the money? Dominion comes through in the United States of America, and I don't think they're a U.S. corporation, which may be interesting because it may be that an outside our country software company influenced our elections, which would be foreign interference in our election. Don't know. We'll see this week, right? But they might want to know. Lin Wood won't stop. He might want to find out who at the top that made the purchasing decisions in this software. How many steak dinners did they get? Let's go to another one. Number 6. Now, this is time for Georgia officials to hear from the people. Email these officials and demand special session of legislation. You can make a difference. This is Brian Kemp, Raffensperger. This is Jeff Duncan, Loeffler, Perdue, and David Ralston. He's put them all on the hot seat. All right. Now, this is one, and I'm telling you, this has got things spinning, in my opinion, out of control in Georgia. Once you get out of, David Schaefer is like, he is the GOP chair, and he's trying to herd cats right here, and we can't throw David under the bus, all right? Because it's just like, is it Ronna McDaniel, the GOP, national GOP chair? I mean, she could say and do so much, but Trump is Trump, okay? Now keep that in mind. David Schaefer, the GOP chair here in Georgia, he could do so much, and he could beg all of his district chairs to get all the county chairs in line, but he can only do so much because Brian Kemp is Brian Kemp, and Jeff Duncan and the rest of them are who they are, and so much he could do. Lin Wood, let me go to one more, okay? Number 7. So while George is wanting to sing Kumbaya, this guy's not giving up. This is interesting. These are in capital letters. Here is Brian Kemp get out of jail card. Woo! Order special session of legislation, void unlawful election, Castro electoral votes for Donald Trump, schedule all down ballot races for 121 election, demand Kelly Loeffler resign, appoint Republican Representative Doug Collins, then you resign. Lin Wood is, he's not sparing anything, is he? So Georgia is on edge. Here's one more. Now this is interesting because when people ask me, is there a pathway? My answer is, if you're looking at a vote count, give me number 9. If you're looking at a vote count, here's Lin Wood, one more. The answer is no. If you think there's a pathway based on any whatsoever, any recounts, it's not going to happen. They're going to continue to come up with the same ballots, the same corrupt ballots, with no signatures checked, all right? It's going to continue to happen. Recounts will not do it. So is there a pathway? My opinion is the only way is to provide the United States Supreme Court enough evidence of corruption that they say there's no way we could certify this election. You can't. We got to pause. We got to pause here to see what happened. It's the only way, but it could be. Here's another one, because a lot of people are not talking about this. You can't find this in the mainstream media. In fact, I've turned off Fox. You cannot find this. Georgia and California have something in common: lawful mail ballots. Georgia election was unlawful and void. Governor Kemp must order a special session of Georgia legislature. Real Donald Trump won re-election by historic landslide. Do your job, Brian. Sorry about that. Just jumbling it up this morning. Do your job, Brian. Now, what is that? Give me number. Let's see. Give me number 10. Hang time. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Judge rules California Governor Newsom violated Constitution with election order, Executive Order N6720 issued by Governor on June 30th, 2020 to void is void as unconstitutional. All right. Ruling from Judge for California's Sutter County Superior Court says that an executive order from the state's Governor Newsom is void, okay? Issued by Governor on June 3rd, 2020 is void as of an unconstitutional exercise of legislative power. It shall be of no further force or affect the ruling states. All right, the California, this was it, California Emergency Service Act, okay, does not authorize or empower the governor of the state of California to amend statutory law or make new statutory law which is excessively a legislative function not delegated by the governor. All right, here's what nobody will talk about. Here's what's going to come into play. Here's why I think the Supreme Court, you look at Alito, all right? Justice Alito, not to go backwards, but look at what Justice Alito said. Justice Samuel Alito has come out and he's talking about our liberty, okay? And how maybe our constitutional rights and our freedom of liberty here may be getting stepped on all these shutdown deals governors are making left and right across the country. So think about that in the scheme of things, all right? Leave this up on the screen. Put this together as you're thinking. Now, I will never forget calling up a state senator and absolutely going nuts over giving Brian Kemp an executive order of just unlimited power during COVID, okay? Unlimited power. And a lot of these governors, their state legislatures signed them unlimited power, some unlimited power during the time of COVID here, emergency orders. Now, a lot of these governors are going to go to the Supreme Court and say these emergency orders, which we were given, we wrote executive orders because of COVID, and we had to do some things concerning the election, all right, to help keep our citizens safe. That's getting ready to happen. You're getting ready to see that litigated through the courts, and they start out there in California, and this is a good one. The ball is rolling, okay? The mail-in ballots does not authorize or empower the governor of the state of California to amend statutory law or make new statutory law, which is exclusively a legislative function, not delegated. Read that closely, folks. Exclusively a delegated function, all right? A legislative function, I'm sorry. A legislative function and not delegated to the governor. The Constitution says that the state legislature is where your power sits, not the governor, okay? Your governor of your state cannot make an emergency service act, cannot authorize, empower the governor to amend statutory law or make new statutory law, which is exclusively a legislative function. So what you have is a judge in California at a superior court level that's reading the Constitution. It says, you don't have that authority. You did not have the authority to make those changes when it comes to the election. You didn't. It's not delegated to you. It is given to, it's a legislative function given to your state legislature. You cannot do that. So it's null and void. Anything that this law you enacted in your executive order may have affected in the elections has to be overturned. Has to be overturned. Well, what did Linwood say in that last tweet? Give me number 9. Georgia and California have something in common. Unlawful mail ballots. Georgia election was unlawful and void. Okay? Now, let's go to what you're hearing. This is a tweet the president put out. See if we can't find this one. Let's go to 51. I do think there's a path, folks. And I don't know, I'm not that bright. So if I could figure some of this stuff out and I can know the Constitution says that this stuff is unlawful in this election, and we got so much more that we can prove with Dominion voting system. Doing a great job in Georgia. Their recount is a scam. That's why they're all worked up, because when you get to the rural counties of Georgia, they support the president. And they're not ready to admit defeat. And then you got, and they're not happy because Donald Trump's not happy with Georgia. Their recount is a scam. Means nothing. Must see fraudulent signatures, which is prohibited by the stupidly signed unconstitutional consent decree. Brian Kemp. Reminds me of that day when he was up there and he says, I'm not real happy with Brian Kemp right now. Remember that? And I came in the next day and broke it down for you like I always do. Stupidly signed an unconstitutional consent decree. They were not able to look at these ballots. They didn't look at them. No. They didn't look at the signatures. Republicans weren't allowed to. The recount is a scam. Let me just say this. Give me this picture. We're not all over the map. We're bringing it home because what I'm wanting you to do is realize something's bad, damn it, bad, wrong here. Number 43. Okay? Here is a couple people there down there at Forsyth County. There's table 125 there. This is the recount. They're looking at the ballots, right? They're looking at the ballots. Now, I want you to think about something before I put this up on the screen. It only took Georgia, what, over a week, okay? The recount started Friday. An audit, a hand count of the ballots and an audit started Friday. It's Monday, folks, right? So on election night, on that November 3rd Tuesday, all of the walk-in vote that was calculated was uploaded. You, at 10 o'clock at night, that's when they went with the phony, water leak in Atlanta. So at 10 o'clock at night, you basically knew 3.5 hours after 8, 9, 10, about 2.5 hours after the polls closed, you knew the uploaded ballots that were cast in Georgia. You had those uploaded, the walk-in, they were up there. You've seen the mass, it was 300,000, I don't know, the big numbers. It was big numbers Trump was up when you went to bed in Georgia, right? Period. Now, we waited over a week, right? You go back and look, how many days did it take Trump's lead to shrink? It was like MSNBC would run it, like it was like he was up 72,000. And remember, 300,000. Then he was only up 250. Then he was up 225,000, 100,000, whatever. Don't get too technical. Then he was up 88,000. They were running this every day in Georgia. You got to laugh your ass off if you actually believe that this happened in a legitimate. Then they showed it 62,000 and 44 and 30, and then it was the day Trump was only up 25. All right, he's up 25,000, and then there was the day Trump was up 18, 12, 9, 4,000. Boom! The magic moment. The magic moment when Joe Biden went ahead and Georgia. How long did that take? Over a week? Over a week. Now here's what they want you to believe. All right? Watch it. Ready? This is from the AJC, number 52. Vote counting appeared to go smoothly in Metro Atlanta on Sunday, the third day of the state's sweeping manual recount of 5 million ballots cast in the presidential contest. Give me number 53. No irregularities or significant tabulation errors emerged during the first 2 days of recount. Officials said Saturday counting will continue through 11:59 on Wednesday. So they said the headline of this, here's the headline, okay, that's statewide. Counting will continue. I had here just a minute ago, maybe I can get right back to it, okay. AJC. Maybe I am not going to, there it is. You know what the headline says? Recount day 3. DeKalb, Fulton finish counting, other counties closing in. DeKalb, Fulton finish counting, other counties closing in. DeKalb and Fulton finished in 3 days. 3 days. Bullshit. And finished counting in 3 days. DeKalb and Fulton started Friday, and they finished hand counting. You're talking hand counting every single ballot. But it only took a week for everybody to get everything done last time. And Joe, but they're done. We did 3 days. I mean, no difference, right? Went smooth. Folks, you got to... When I say this, you got to stay with me because there's absolutely no way, okay, that they did this in 3 days, okay? Number 55. A lot of people ask me like, hey, why didn't a recount work? Or why aren't they letting people look at the signatures? Donald Trump, remember I told you the difference Saturday and now, there's a leader out there. And he don't care if you're in Georgia or where you're at. The consent decree signed by the governor, by Georgia, wait a minute. The consent decree signed by the Georgia Secretary of State with the approval of Governor Brian Kemp at the urging of Stacey Abrams makes it impossible to check and match signatures on ballots and envelopes, etc. They knew they were going to cheat, must expose real signatures. Folks, let me Give me number 54. And this is from Newsweek. All right? This is from Newsweek, number 54. Trump rails against Georgia. This came out on the 14th, right? Is that Saturday? Trump rails against Georgia Governor Kemp for consent decree aimed at helping minority voters. President Donald Trump criticized Georgia Republican Governor Brian Kemp for a second day as he continues to allege irregularities in the state's votes without evidence. Now, let me tell you what this means to me. Trump's not backing off Kemp. I like to get 2 and 2 to equal 4, all right? Trump's not backing off Kemp, all right? So why did Collins accept the job? Stay with me. You remember Congressman Doug Collins accepted, okay? Congressman Doug Collins accepted being the head of the President Donald J. Trump re-election campaign committee recount, the head of the recount team. All right? He accepted that. You think Collins went in doing a recount not knowing this was happening? Do you think Collins went in not knowing that the president was going to rail on Brian Kemp? I don't know. Collins has to come out and make comments on this. The congressman does. The president also took aim at Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who is a Republican, and 2018 gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, the Democrat. Here's what you have on the screen. The consent decree signed by the Georgia Secretary of State with the approval of Governor Brian Kemp at the urging of Stacey Abrams makes it impossible to check and match signatures on the ballot, envelopes, etc., etc. They knew they were going to cheat. Must expose real signatures, said. In a second tweet on Saturday, the president added, "What are they trying to hide? What are they trying to hide? They know, and so does everyone else. Expose the crime." Twitter tagged both tweets with a warning that Trump's claim about the election fraud is disputed. The president, and I'll tell you what he's referring to, he's correct. The president appears to be referring to the consent decree from earlier in 2020, which concerned signature match on mail-in ballots. Abrams spoke to Los Angeles Times about the decree on October 4th. You could always vote by mail. That was never a problem. The issue was they threw out your ballot if there was a signature mismatch. Folks, you've got to pay attention to this. And I'm not going to get ugly, but I think there's some of you out there remember when we did this story, okay? And we're doing it again because now you want to know why the whole election, I told you the whole election needs thrown out in Georgia, all right? And the Supreme Court needs to do it. Here's what we're talking about. Let's get the president's tweet back up so you can be reading that. I think I have it here. Let's see, what number is it? Georgia's doing a great job. It's a scam. I think I have it here. Give me number. No, it's not that. Oh, do you have it? How'd you remember that? That's pretty good. Thank you, Emily. I'm looking for it everywhere where Emily's got it on the screen. Here's what he's talking about. And this is from Stacey Abrams herself. You could always vote by mail, okay? That was never a problem. The issue was they threw your ballot out. They threw out your ballot, okay? If there was a signature mismatch, if you could not match the signature, which was twice as likely if you were black or Latino, 5 times as likely if you're young, Abrams said. Meaning the ballot harvesting would be, you'd be able to tell and you'd throw them out. That's exactly right. And a fairly high percentage of immigrants had their ballots thrown out. We were able to get a consent decree earlier this year where you'd get to fix your ballot if they think there's a problem. The key was that is if they think there's a problem. If they decide there's no problem, they don't have to even bring it up. They don't have to let you see it. They can just move on, okay? Greg Bluestein, a political reporter with the AJC, was quickly to criticize Trump's tweet, calling it riddled with inaccuracies, okay? Riddled with inaccuracies. It's a mess. It's a total damn mess. The president is right. Stacey Abrams sit down with Brian Kemp and Secretary of State Raffensperger, and they made a deal. And now we're paying for it. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I knew I wasn't going to get to everything today. I am your host, BKP Politics here. Thank you so much for all your messages, all your direct messages that you send. I appreciate it. Let's see. Just thank you. All right. Let me get this wrapped up. I mean, there's too much BS here. You want me to believe that Fulton County, friggin' DeKalb County finished counting their ballots in 3 days. There is a mess in Georgia. Governor Kemp and Raffensperger, they're all on the ropes. Collins had to know they were on the ropes when he went in. I know this. I am not saying this. Please do not get out there and say BKP is speculating this. It's all over. It's not me. It's all over the damn social media that Collins is setting himself up for a challenge to challenge Brian Kemp in 2022 for governor. I didn't say he was. I don't know that for any fact. I'm just saying you got to have your head buried in the sand for the people that pay attention, that don't hear and see that Collins is going to. We didn't say that. Social media lit up that Collins knew something going into. He knew something going into this, period. Republicans are in deep trouble because they've got to get, right now, this week is big. They need to get Kelly Loeffler, okay? Now, look, I've already hearing it about Loeffler. I have said this publicly. We will see this week what happens. Supreme Court, Sidney Powell, the Trump presidency. We'll see some things this week, okay? I'm relaxed. Joe Biden is not president-elect to me, all right? But we have to get 2 senators elected in Georgia, and they need to be Republicans. We cannot let Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff go to Washington, D.C. and give the power to Democrats in the Senate to go with the House, all right? We can't do that. We cannot listen to and be presumptuous that Republicans will win. I think Republicans are 9 out of 10 in the last runoffs in Georgia, 9 out of 10, okay? Or maybe 10 out of 11 or something like that. But we cannot allow Warnock or Ossoff to go to Washington, D.C. Can't do it, all right? But what did Collins know going into this? Now, let me just say this, and you guys know this, but I just want to run this by you. They keep flagging all of our president's tweets. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to look at actually what it says. Let me see if I can find it here. Hang tight there, Bob Louie. This might be it. So I thought I would look. Give me number 45. The President of the United States tweeted out, "I won the election." Okay? I won the election. Now you see underneath there, what does it say? It says official sources. Okay? Official sources called this election differently. Well, you know, I keep seeing the president's tweets all getting tagged. You know, there's a dispute in the facts on this tweet, whatever, right? But this one has a big exclamation point, official sources called this. So I said, I wonder if I click on it, if they tell me who these official sources are. Is it the Electoral College? I mean, State Secretary of State, whatever. I mean, let me check. So I clicked on it. Give me number 46. When you click on that, it goes here. Joe Biden is projected winner of the 2020 presidential election. Democrat nominee Joe Biden has defeated President Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election. He has surpassed the 270 Electoral College votes required to win the race, according to projections by Associated Press, NBC, and other news outlets. In a victory speech on November 7th, Biden said, "I pledge to be president who seeks not to divide but to unify, who does not see red states or blue states, only the United States." So when it says, can you go back 145? Official sources called this election differently. And they go to, that's Twitter telling you it's official. And then go to 46. Oh, it was the Associated Press, NBC News, and you know what? He gave a victory speech on November 7th. I mean, how can you not? And he's a unifier. Because I don't know, I've been on the air for the last 2 hours. I'm wondering if Biden has lashed out at Antifa and lashed out at Black Lives Matter for attacking peaceful protesters, the Trump supporters in Washington, D.C. this weekend. I mean, there's a lot of you going to watch videos all day of people being attacked, nice families. Families going, taking their kids because they're just great patriots that have had it up to the gills. Wherever your gills are, that's where Sidney Powell said we've had it up to. Number 48. Why does the fake news media continuously assume that Joe Biden will ascend the presidency, not even allowing our side to show, which we are just getting ready to do, how badly shattered and violated our great Constitution has been in 2020 election? It was attacked. 49. Perhaps like never before, from large numbers of poll watchers that were thrown out of the vote counting rooms in many of our states, to millions of ballots that have been altered by Democrats, only for Democrats, to voting after the election was over, to using radical left. Now look on the bottom there. What does it say? This claim about election fraud is disputed. Okay. But you remember, you see here where he says ballots being altered by Democrats for only Democrats. Remember, Sidney Powell tells you the software, it's not a glitch. In real time, they can put in just vote Joe Biden. When you see, wait a minute, something's wrong because 23,000 votes came in for Joe Biden alone and no down ballot candidates. You could do that. Anything you want to do on that software, you could do it. So give me number 50. Radical left owned Dominion voting systems turned down by Texas and many others because it was not good or secure. Those responsible for the safeguarding of our Constitution cannot allow the fake results of 2020 mail-in election to stand. The world is watching. That's right. World is watching. The world knows these Dominion voting systems, okay? I'll tell you what they did not do this morning on the media that I watched for 2 hours. They've cooled their jets a little bit about foreign leaders getting on the phone with Joe. They cooled their jets about a couple things. It's COVID, okay? Let me go through some quick pictures on the internet. Run through these. We got 5 minutes. Okay. It's all COVID. Yes, number 16. It becomes very difficult for the U.S. to tackle big things. Why? Barack Obama fears for our democracy. Trump has fueled the truth decay in American politics. Trump has fueled the truth decay. I wonder if Biden was to go back into the Oval Office, I wonder what official role Obama would play. Wonder how many of his people will be in there. He is out front about some things. Wonder if maybe he'll be Secretary of State. I'm not joking, okay? I've been practicing all morning. I've been trying to practice all morning, number 19. I mean, if I get the chance, I want the Scott Pelley look. He did 60 Minutes, the Scott Pelley. You said, Mr. Former Vice President, in your article that could they not kiss this guy's ass enough? All right, so the Scott Pelley look. There's Obama, number 20. I'm back, baby. I'm back. I didn't want to break it down for you today. Here's number 22. Biden and Harris to speak out today on the troubled Trump economy. Troubled Trump economy. Here it is. Texas giving out turkeys. I mean, this is the free stuff. Turkey. Gobble, gobble. Right here. Get in line. Free turkey. So, number 23. Okay. Biden and Harris speak out. There's the turkeys. Look at the line in Texas, right? Is this Dallas? Yeah. This is the line to get turkeys. So what they do is they go on some radio station and say, it's tough out there. The economy's collapsed. You need a turkey. We got to get you a turkey. Get in line. So this is the food line to get a turkey. It's the saddest damn thing. Number 25, they're going to speak out today. Number 26, Gretchen Whitmer, Dim Whitmer. Restrictions reimposed across the U.S. as Trump hampered Biden efforts. It's Trump's fault. I mean, he won't let Biden's team get involved. He won't let the Fauci, the little commie, work over with the Biden administration. He won't let him get involved with, so the governors are going to have to do something to take it in their own hands again. Number 28, the dark winter is on its way. Here are the states. It's over and over this morning. They will not shut up about COVID. All right. Let's see. Hang tight. There was one thing on CNBC. Number 38, they're going nuts. They're saying that Trump has not attended a coronavirus, a pandemic meeting, the task force meeting in 5 months. And all he's worried about is denying the election loss. Okay. Number 39, U.S. hits 11 million COVID cases as restriction increase. Holidays worries mount. Okay. And 41, clinging to power. All right. Clinging to power. Let me make sure there's a couple more of the tweets I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss today. Number 56, let me close with my 1 minute here. If you're out there from sea to shining sea and you do not want to see the Senate go into Democrat hands, okay, you have to stop this woman, Stacey Abrams in Georgia. She's not easy to stop. We got to tell her the truth. I mean, I'm serious. She's like the fridge coming through the front line, the refrigerator. Remember? Perry, Refrigerator Perry. That's the female version right there when it comes to voting. She almost cannot be stopped. They have kids coming and people coming from every state. Every state. They're busing them in. They're putting them up in motels, okay? Pretty good odds the people they're bringing in are going to go ahead and vote while they're here, register themselves and vote. Okay, and we can't check signatures, and anyone that tells you, hey, if you didn't vote November 3rd, relax, you can't vote in the next coming election, that's garbage. You have, I think you still have 2 more weeks. You're supposed to have 30 days. The state of Georgia, the law is you're supposed to have 30 days of registration before an election. This is an election. It's not the same one. There's been argument in the state that a runoff should be considered just an extension of that election, but it's not. So don't get the misinformation. People can register to vote, all right? They're doing it. Republicans are in disarray in Georgia, and you're not going to, they think they're going to sneak in Georgia and win this one. I know it's 10 o'clock, so Emily, let me just close with this. Give me number 1. Here's the difference. Tea Party, 2009. Trump Party, mega party. Republicans are sweating. 70-some million people come out all of a sudden and support the mega party. Republicans are in big trouble. And they have had it up to the gills, as Sidney Powell said, with the corruption. There's a lot of difference. Don't get fooled by these people, because you know the old saying, fool me once, that happened in 2009. Fool me once. They're not going to get fooled again. And this time they have a leader, Donald J. Trump. I will see you tomorrow morning. Let's put up how they can get in touch with us. Always remember, you could call me. You could text me 7 days a week. You can email me. Follow us on social media. I'll be back tomorrow morning.